Your messaging might be costing you clients, and not for the reason that you think. It's probably not your offer, not your pricing. It might not even be your actual copy. It's the energy underneath all of it. And that energy is pulling people towards you or quietly pushing them away on your sales page, in your emails, in your content, and even in your discovery calls and sales conversation. So I'm going to show you the one psychological shift that changes all of it, plus 5 messaging moves you can use right now, wherever it is that you're selling. And hey, I'm Andrea. I have 25 years in marketing, including time at Ogilvy, that giant agency, and leading global teams. And now I help consultants and coaches build client acquisition systems. Just means lead generation, but without the pushy marketing tactics. So subscribe if that's your thing, and let's get into it. Okay, so here's what I see constantly with consultant and coaches and service professionals and new business owners. They're super talented, but they don't get the clients that they want. And that's because they have a pick me energy, and it doesn't always look desperate. It can actually look really polished, but there's something underneath the words that potential clients pick up on even if they can't name it. That pick me energy is not so good. It oftentimes sounds like it's over the top explaining, saying your credentials before people even asked for it. It looks like a sales page that lists every single thing that you can do, hoping something lands. It shows up in emails that bend over backwards trying to answer every possible objection before it's even raised. And it shows up in content that's trying so hard to be valuable that it actually stops sounding like a person. And this is the frustrating part. The harder you try to convince people you're worth hiring, the less convinced they actually feel. And that's just how human psychology works. A lot of this stuff is subconsciously. The clients worth having, the ones who pay well and they trust you and they send you referrals, they're not won over by convincing. They're drawn in by confidence. And there's a specific reason for that. When your messaging comes from, I need you to hire me, people feel that. It's not always consciously, but something in them registers and it creates this like low grade and the skepticism. Like, if this person needs me this badly, like, why am I going to hire them? So we want to flip that. When your messaging comes from, I got you, the whole thing changes. People relax, their guard comes down, and then this interesting thing happens. They start wondering if you want to work with them. That's the shift I'm going to talk about. You stop chasing, and they start hoping that you'll actually say yes to them. I'm not talking about faking it or performing confidence you don't have or pretending to be further along than you really are. That stuff backfires just as fast as desperation does. What I'm talking about is like a genuine reframe. Your job is to not get the clients. Your job is to figure out if you can actually help this person. And your job is to communicate that clearly. When you come from that place, everything about how you write and speak, it shifts and people feel that. So let's talk about what this actually looks like. Here are 5 messaging moves that carry that I got you energy across any sales touch points. Lead with their problem before you say anything about yourself. This works everywhere, on sales pages, on emails, social content, conversations, everywhere. What some consultants and coaches do badly is that they lead with themselves, about them, their method, their credentials, their results. And even when that's super impressive, it signals like, here's why I'm so great, which puts the reader or the person you're talking to in an evaluation mode immediately. But when you lead with their problem, and I mean really name it specifically, not some vague struggling to get clients, but the actual texture of what they're living right now, something different happens. They feel seen. And feeling seen is the fastest trust builder that there is. Think about your sales page. If that sales page is all about them, the person that's reading it is going to be like, oh my God, they understand me. They got me, right? So you want to write in that I got you energy, and you want to speak in that I got you energy. Next up, I want you to go deeper than the surface problem. Here's what most people sell. They sell deliverables, a strategy, a content plan, a website, 6 coaching sessions. And I see this all the time when I help my clients with their messaging. But clients aren't buying these things. Clients are actually buying what they hope changes because of those deliverables. They want the outcome. There's always something underneath what someone says they need. So, for my example, for my clients, when a consultant says to me that they need better positioning, what they're really saying is they're tired of being overlooked for opportunities that they know they're qualified for. Or when a coach comes to me and says that they need more leads, what they're really saying is they're quietly wondering if this business is actually going to work. Because if they don't have leads, they don't have clients, and they don't have a business. So the ask is the surface, but the real reason they need you is totally underneath all that. When your messaging speaks to that layer, that underneath layer, the emotional truth underneath the tactical ask, you stop sounding like a vendor and you start sounding like the person who actually gets it and gets them. And in a sales conversation, this doesn't mean you're going to jump to the solutions right away. You actually want to go deeper. Ask what they've tried. Ask what's at stake if nothing changes. The deeper you go, the more that they trust you. All right, number 3, name what's not working without making them feel bad about it. This one is so powerful and almost nobody does it or doesn't do it well. When you can name exactly where someone has gone wrong and do it in a way that feels like an insight instead of judgment, they feel relief because someone finally gets the problem. Like not a generic version of the problem, but the actual problem that they're dealing with. On a sales page, this might be a section that walks through why the obvious approach doesn't work. In an email, it might be a story about a client who tried the thing everyone tries before figuring out what was actually in the way. In a conversation, you might just ask, hey, where do you feel like you've missed the mark? And then listen, really listen. The key here is you're not trying to make them feel better. You're trying to make them feel understood. Those are different things, right? Being understood is magic. Feeling better can actually reduce urgency. Feeling understood builds that trust, and that trust is what moves people to buy from you. Next up, let them create their own urgency. The bro marketers will disagree with me on this, but this is what a lot of sales messaging get wrong. It tries to manufacture urgency from the outside, like countdown timers, fake scarcity, bonuses that disappear at midnight. And look, those tactics work mechanically, and they work sometimes. They used to work all the time, actually, but that has changed. So don't apply that pressure from the outside, but instead you can apply it from the inside. The more powerful move is to ask the question or write the line that makes someone confront the cost of staying stuck themselves. So in a conversation, it's literally just, what happens if you don't figure this out? And then stop talking. Let them answer it. Because when someone hears themselves say out loud that they're exhausted, that they're losing time, or that they're losing money, or they can't get clients, that they've been putting this off too long, they've created their own urgency. You didn't push them there. It was already there. You just gave it space. And so when they hear themselves, then that is the urgency. And in a written message, you can do this by painting a really honest picture of what staying stuck actually looks like. You could say something like, hey, I know what this costs you. That converts much better than like a fake timer. All right, next up. This is about the close, and it's subtle, but it does matter. When your call to action sounds like hire me, buy now, and all that kind of stuff, you've put the weight on them. They're deciding on you. When it sounds like, let's figure this out together, let's figure this out if this is a good fit, here's what moving forward looks like, you've made a shared decision. And that does something interesting psychologically. It signals that you have criteria too, that you're not just available to whoever shows up, that this is a two-way thing here. So that selectivity creates value. Because whenever you're asking for a commitment, it should sound like it's a two-way decision, right? Because you might not want to work with them either. But most importantly, it's that I got you energy and that I got you confidence. And that's exactly the kind of energy that makes people trust you and makes people buy from you. These things work, but the version that works best is the version that actually sounds like you. So if you're trying to apply that I got you energy while using tactics that feel totally off for you, don't do it. People are going to feel that's going to feel fake and it's going to feel desperate. So only do what feels right for you. The consultants and coaches who get clients consistently aren't just using better messaging. They've built a system that fits who they are. So the confidence isn't something that they have to perform or they've made up. It's actually there. And if you need help with that confidence building or if with that system, I can totally help you. There's a link below. And if this video resonated with you and you're going to take that I got you energy into next week, say below, I got you. I love hearing from you guys. And now check out the next video to go even deeper and learn what kind of content gets you clients. So check that video out next.